So welcome again to This is the Business. We've in-person one today, first one of the series. We've been away for a while, we're just getting back to it, been busy, but we welcome Fionn Maher from Woodfield in County Laois on the Carlow border. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Fionn, and a bit about the business and what's going on.
Thanks a million for having me down here.
Yeah, no, delighted to have you.
And so Woodfield is located on an organic farm, and it's gone into a private wellness club. So it's on organic farm in between river and the forest, and it's just a getaway from everyday life and a kind of wellness destination.
Yeah, and I don't think you could. I think it'd be hard to do a good job at selling it, because it's just you have to experience it to understand how special it is. Mm-hmm. I've been up and down a few times since we started working together, and yeah, it's a different spot. I've been to saunas and stuff around Ireland, but yeah, it's just different. It hits different down there. You're in the middle of nature, and the event space you have in the treehouse. Like, touch on that. That's really special.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that people say to me, like, where did the inspiration come from it? And I have absolutely no idea, because if someone said to you, I'm going to put a tree house up 20 or 30 foot up in the trees, they'd probably think you're mad as well. But there was just something about it. As we were walking around, we developed the saunas and we were developing our walks, and just something about that spot. I was standing on it, we were looking to put in a studio, and I was kind of just looking down at the river and 7 oak trees around us, and I was kind of like, look, there must be a reason, and there's actually meant to be good energy around that as well. So yeah, and between whitethorns, actually just seemed like a perfect spot for it. And when we built it at the start, I was still kind of going against myself, and I'm mad doing it. But then when we got the platform in and I actually had the view of it, I was like, right, I made the right decision now.
Yeah, something special. And again, you definitely undersell yourself for sure, because you are the first 2-story sauna in Ireland.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, first 2-story sauna in Ireland. I'm not even sure, it could be around the world as well. I haven't seen any around as well, and it's a completely unique design as well. So it's a triangular build. So I don't think there's even any triangular saunas around, so that added to the building element of it. But I suppose the same thing, we were trying to capture the view, and we're trying to capture the nature as well. So that's kind of what Woodfield is created around. We're trying to tie in and integrate around nature, and not like bully our way into it, but kind of build it within it.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And obviously I know the answer to these questions, because we've been working quite closely together over the last 6 to 8 months, but what was the inspiration behind, or what was the idea behind changing from the public sauna to the private wellness?
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't even be in a conversation without Amden's advice either, and I suppose the way you would have put it to me as well would have been kind of just changed how I thought about it. But in terms of like going towards a private, we wanted to come up with something different. Like yourselves, we want to set ourselves a little bit apart. We don't want to follow other people. We don't go out to copy anyone else. We want to do our own thing. So we wanted to create a destination like no other, and we wanted to have it so that people could come and completely switch off, that they weren't worried about other people or say others coming down. Even though it is quite spread out and it's still private, we just wanted to take it to the next level, and we just thought that going private was the next step, and that we could also respect our surroundings a little bit more as well. So the less people in it, the better as well. But just adding that, so people have a switch off point, and that they know that there's not going to be a load of people in around them as well.
Yeah, and I love the way you've taken nature, wellness, and you've, through our sessions, through our over and back, you've looked at the business side of it as well, and you've made the business side of it work within the wellness and the nature side of it as well, if that makes sense. Yeah. You've made a decision based on trying to preserve what's there, but obviously then bring it to a kind of an exclusive level, which I really like.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose my two passions will be entrepreneurship and being out in nature and being out and about. So it's like, why not bring them together and try to develop them out together? And that is also has come to light that a lot more people are both interested in their wellness and say entrepreneurship, so it kind of just seemed like a common crossover.
Yeah, and it's when you say it out, it does make sense, because you know what it's like running your own business. I know what it's like running your own business. It's tough, it's stressful, so actually being able to get that time to switch off and maybe just unwind in a certain way. And I know he probably doesn't get as many shout outs as he should, but we were only just chatting about it before. I had seen your dad down, Nicky the herbalist, and like absolutely mind blown. Skeptical me would be skeptical enough with things, but my mind was blown sitting down there listening to him and the advice that he gave me, you know, around your wellness and around what it means, and listening to his story as well. So it's a really unique place that you've built down there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and that would have been one of the big inspirations, would have been my father being a herbalist and also my mother being a wellness practitioner. So kind of from there, over 20 years experience, we would have seen that there's a need for this kind of thing, and that the more and more, like I even see it myself, I keep having to tell myself to relax.
Yeah.
And even though I know the tools and I know that I should be meditating, I know you should be doing all the things, but I still even find myself too stressed or burnt out. And you can imagine people, like I can walk out through my door and I have this in front of me, and I'm still feeling overwhelmed or anxious or whatever. So it's a space created from experience and then tailored to what people need, based from the experience of my father and mother as well. So that would have been it.
And like what's I suppose that's a massive change for you to make. And it wasn't something I know from working with you, it wasn't something that you made lightly, and it's not something that you made and it was made and it went away. It was there and it kind of kept coming back. But like, I suppose, what's the biggest learning that you've had, say, in the last 6 to 8 months? Obviously you've done a rebrand, new website launched, you have a new direction in the business. I suppose looking back this time, say 6 to 8 months ago, what's the biggest lesson you've learned in that time?
The biggest lesson would be, where do I want to go? Where does this business want to go? And I think that was the biggest essential factor where Amden came in. It's like, basically called me out, but I needed it because I was getting burnt out too often. I was feeling stressed. The system wasn't working. So the consultancy of, say, where are you? Where do you want to go? And then creating the systems to get there. That in itself has just been a game changer for me and the whole business, because just clear, because I've been with companies before and we're going to do this and we'll market this way, and I actually found myself that I was more stressed after it, or I was less clear after it. So, and
I always remember the day I went down to the office to you, and you know, the one thing I genuinely do like or enjoy working with you is there's definitely a buy-in from you, and there's definitely a want and a willingness to kind of take things on. And I remember being in the office with you one of the days, and you had the 6 planners on the wall, and I was like, what's the 6 planners for? And you was like, we 6-year plan. I was like, right, okay, can we bring it back maybe to a 30-day plan and we'll work up to that? So I remember then the next time I went down after that, the planners were gone off the wall, and a lot more clarity. But I suppose, what advice would you give to anyone? It doesn't have to be in any sort of business that are looking at this, or that you know, or whatever. What advice would you give to someone that's looking to set up a business or to grow a business?
The first thing would be to get a mentor. To make a plan of what you want to do, but get advice, get Amden, get your consultancy done, and figure out where you want to go. Because I spent tens of thousands along the way, like with plans and business plans and all this. But in hindsight, it cost me a lot to get to the point of where I needed to go. But from the start, I think a clear plan is more valuable than anything, because everyone has great ideas and absolutely like the business models are good, but just to get clear advice and a clear guideline as to where you want to go, because if not, it'll snowball into issues, system problems, and you're spending money then, so it's going to cost you in the long run. And that's one thing a lad said to me, you learn through your pocket, and I could never understand that until I went working for myself. And I was like, now I understand what it's like, because every learning element I got, I had to pay for it, and I had to pay for it in my pocket. So just for businesses getting going, just to get advice and a clear guide as to where you're going to save you a lot of hardship.
Yeah, and I think that is really good advice, because anyone that's anyway entrepreneurial or that wants to be that way normally do have very good vision, but they don't have a lot of structure. And I think if you combine both vision and structure, you'll succeed at anything.
Absolutely. It's the execution. I don't think any entrepreneur is lazy or anything, or they're not afraid to get up and work. It's that you don't know where to go. So like I had like my daily plan was I was going to do 30 things in a day. There wasn't a chance I was going to get through 3 of them, and there were probably 30 not even relevant things as well. So like that thing that like you're doing less but it's more focused, rather than trying to do so much, and like as I said, you're getting burnt out and stressed,
procrastinating about things.
And then you're wondering like those days like where you could even just do your couple of little bits, you're trying to do loads, and then it builds up as well. So not only are you not getting on top of your plans, your 30 things to do, but then it builds up to say, oh, what am I doing, or what traction am I getting? When you have no clear idea as to where you're going, it's very hard to run a business.
And I think that is like me and you, we've done a kind of a day of strategy session here on different bits and pieces, and I suppose we talked about it, we touched on it earlier on, and we were saying like I love what I do for a living. Is it stressful? Yeah. Is there days that it's not the best thing in the world? Yeah. And I know it was the same for you, and I remember when we sat about it, it was like giving yourself a role in the business. That was one of the biggest things that I would have taken away from our initial conversation, was you didn't have a role in the business as such. You were doing everything, and when we said it earlier on, it's like the sales manager Fionn has to answer to the CEO Fionn, and has to set them targets, and if you don't meet those targets, you have to come down hard on yourself, because we do let ourselves away with certain things when you work for yourself. So
and that's it too. But I thought I was being on top of these things, but until you set clear structures, you never even know what you're doing and not doing. So as you say, setting yourself as the sales manager and the CEO, like you also need a structure before you can even do that. So like it holds me accountable. So I know I need to have my certain amount of outreaches. I've my list of what I need to do every day, and I have to go and do it. Whereas before it was kind of like you open up your day and you're kind of looking all around you, rather than if you have a clear system in place to follow, it makes your life a lot easier.
And it does make, and there's little changes you can make, and there's little changes that we implemented when we were working on Woodfield, like the bespoke CRM system that we built, even just recording the outreaches that you're doing, even today, like the 30-60 day corporate plan that we have now, and little things like that just give you a purpose to work towards, and setting yourself targets, but realistic targets as well, because I find that with a lot of people in business, it's like, I want to get to X amount, and you're saying, that's okay, but you can't get there unless you do all of this other stuff first. So it's actually just setting yourself little targets every day, and it gives you a purpose in the business as well.
It does, but you talk about it like as in that it's very easy, but until you're told about these things. So like you're saying about a CRM system, but you've developed an app that you can just click in 5 things and it's uploaded on Excel. Whereas if I'm on the move and I have to try like write down on a page, so that's where Amden comes in, as in that it just opens up your mind as in the possibilities. It shows you everything you can do, and then you use what you need for your business. So it's more streamlined then as well. So simple things, being on the go, able to hit that app, and rather than write it into a page and then hopefully I'll remember to write that page into Excel later on and all that. So
and it's even, I suppose it's like testament to you as well that we would have met each other because you wanted a website rebuilt, which we did through Shopify, but it has developed out into so much more than that, even down to obviously what the services that Amden are doing for Woodfield, which is ongoing consultancy and sales and strategy planning. But we're actually working together now as well, which is quite exciting. That was part of our strategy day today, was to map out how Amden and Woodfield can build on this relax and learn, which we might touch on before we finish up. But also then you're coming in to help us try and develop the Amden Midlands office, which shows that there's not only a buy-in from you, but there's a buy-in from us as well, and that we work really well together. And I think we can grow that part of the business, and us having a representative like yourself in that area is really important to us as well.
Yeah.
So.
And someone that's come from experience. So
Exactly,
as you
yeah.
said, that I came to get a website, and next thing look at everything that transpired from it. Like, so it's one of them things that it's a no-brainer at the start, and then the amount of stuff that came from it was really good as well.
Yeah, and I always said it, like there's a few clients that we work with that are really, like, you would say they're an Amden client, all in Amden client, and I would definitely put Woodfield in there, because it's kind of like, as you said, you came thinking, I just need to get a Shopify account or Shopify website up and running, because it's just going to make everything so much easier.
Yeah.
But actually then what ended up happening, what ended up working out, was a 6-month plan, that we basically changed your whole business, or you've changed your whole business, the direction of the business, a more scalable, sustainable business.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many companies in Ireland that offer that sort of support.
None, and if anything, it's been undersold, because whenever I went to like other companies, they're saying, "Oh, we'll build this for you." They couldn't even do what was on the tin. So when I came to you, I was chatting, ideas started flowing, and the more we discussed, the more ideas came, but then we could execute them as well. So not only was I coming to you with one problem, I was coming to you technically with 8 or 9 problems, but you were able to handle them all and give me advice on all of them. And then from that, I was like, I need to change my whole business model. So these ideas, these conversations, without those, wouldn't have sparked me to head where we're heading.
And you said it as well, and it's a word that you hear it's so overused at the minute. It's that word systems. Like, you've marketing companies that are coming saying, "Oh, we've a system for ads, and we've a system for this," and you don't have a system. When you talk about systems, you talk about systems in your business, and what systems you can implement into your business to help your business not only grow, but be more sustainable growth. As you said, you're trying to do 30 things in a day. We didn't actually need to do 30 things in a day. You just need to do these 4 key things, get them done really, really well, and that will help you grow your business. And then putting in actual systems like the CRM system, like the marketing system that we help you put in, the booking system on the website, actual systems that help your business, not systems that are made up, which really irritates me in today's business. It just seems to be a word that's just kind of fired out there.
Yeah, and it is quite strong. Even when I do say it, I'm the same myself, that I'm nearly afraid to say it, because it's so overused as well. And I think people are shouting from the rooftops that they can do this, that and the other, but it's more just to get clicks and that as well. But with G, it's a different kettle of fish that it's coming in, and the solutions can be visibly seen, and that they are a game changer for a business, because there's no one else doing it. Yeah,
and I think that's why the two businesses marry so well together, is that, and we'll touch on it now in a sec, is what's in the future for Woodfield. But there's definitely no one doing what you're aiming to do and what you are doing at the minute with Woodfield. It's, we talk about it being this special place, which it is. We talk about the saunas, we talk about the event space and everything else, but it's the relax and learn, I think, is really exciting. Obviously we're going to come on board with that, but it's actually the team building and the corporate events that you can run through them. So maybe just talk us through that a little bit.
Yeah, so like, as you mentioned, the relaxation part of it is all got to do with like the nature and the wellness, but then the performance out of it, if we can mix them. So imagine someone is relaxed and then they're learning about, say, team building or communication. They can take that on so much easier, rather than if they're in the office environment or something. But we're creating bespoke packages depending on the SMEs or the corporates for what they need, so they can come to us and they can say, well, we're having issues within the team for X, Y and Z, or we need some tools for our company to take forward. So it's very bespoke, and it's not being done around. Like, there's a lot of like places are doing wellness and corporate days, but they're very broad, and a lot of them can be tick the box exercises, where we want to show like real results, and we wanted to have KPIs tracking this, and how it benefits the employee, and how it benefits the employee and the business then in turn, with retention and performance and everything.
And I think that's the biggest kind of, not worry, but it is the biggest thing with the wellness budgets that companies have now, is that is it just another tick the box exercise, because it's like we have a budget, we'll spend it, whereas what you're trying to do is actually say, well look, we'll bring in the wellness, we'll cover off the wellness, but you're actually getting something back that will benefit your business, benefit the team that team are on, or the project that they're working on, or and some of the stuff that we've mapped out there around even like simple things like LinkedIn training for. It's crazy. People don't know how powerful LinkedIn, and you're part of that.
Example.
Yeah.
But this is it. 2 months ago I wasn't on LinkedIn, and now it's my main sales. The simple as I'm not even doing enough on Instagram and everything because of it. But I never even knew about it 2 months ago. But these are the conversations you have. It's like you don't know you need it until you don't know. So when you call me out and say, "Oh, you're on LinkedIn," I'm like, "Oh yeah, I heard about it." And there's no point in saying it. Yeah. It's like, I was on it alright, but I wasn't very active on it. So simple things, these conversations, you're never going to know unless you're going to be told or advised. You see, and that in itself, the LinkedIn has been a game changer in itself.
And it is just like little things like that. That's kind of what I'm obviously excited working with you, but I'm excited to see where it goes when we talk about these different events and different things that you're putting on. And the team building and all of that, that's great and that's really, really powerful. But actually that relax and learn is just something for me. Is like we talked about it there when we mapped out things like sales strategies. A relax and learn, you come down, you relax into a relaxed environment, but we're talking about sales strategies. Business plan, you can come down and relax and learn and walk away with a business plan. Come down and do AI strategies, LinkedIn, learn about LinkedIn. Like that sort of stuff is not only beneficial to business owners, that's beneficial to teams as well. I'm excited to see how that plays out, and I think everyone involved with Amden are excited to see where that goes for us as well in the next few months.
And that element of relaxation, I suppose, that even as they're learning, like the employees going to be less stressed, they're going to be happier going back to work, they're going to feel like they're on a bit of a mini holiday, but also it's easier to take on board about what you're being taught if you are more relaxed as well. So that's the exciting thing, obviously blending the relaxation and the learning element of it.
Yeah, it's funny because I was only talking to a client that we do work for, and they were organising a night out, or they were organising an event, and straight away the thing is, right, where will we go for food, and will we go for pints after? And it's kind of, we're slowly moving away from that mindset, but it's still very much there in day-to-day business, whereas like a team event has to be food and drinks, whereas like would that not be more beneficial? And when you look at the bottom line and the budgets that are spent on this stuff, you're actually teaching your staff something, and they're getting a benefit of being able to relax and unwind and turn off and switch off and 100%. Enjoy nature.
And I think it's also something that's getting bigger and bigger.
Definitely,
because I see that like people are going out less, they're looking to do their sober yoga on a Sunday and all. Just the whole wellness element of things is just getting bigger in Ireland, and I think it will gradually, because a lot of people now have been discussing with HR managers and they're asking, what's your wellness program, or what's your that kind of element, where that wouldn't have been asked about what time do you finish on a Friday. It might have been a common question maybe, but it seems to be more and more that people are more interested in their health, but also then business, because entrepreneurship seems to be getting a lot bigger as well among younger generation as well, which is great to see, going out less and looking after health and doing business more.
And what's coming up? What's happening with Woodfield now? What are the kind of exciting things that are coming up over the next 6 to 8 months? What's happening? Is there events you've planned? Is there stuff you've planned?
So we're really honing in on our corporate programs. That's one of the main things that we're kind of for SMEs and corporates, for the relax and learn and the relax and reset. We have some of our own events coming up then in the meantime, and we also have some people will be hosting events as well. But we're mainly building around the private corporate programs that we can see the benefit for both employee and business from these. So that's why we really want to use that as our main focus for the minute, and that'll be kind of our main driving of Woodfield for the next foreseeable anyway.
And I suppose this is like a real interview question, but like if you're sitting here in 5 years' time, what does success look like for you?
It would be Woodfield would be franchised as an essential business within every county, tiered in with Amden, because I think this is needed throughout. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, everyone deals with stress and problems. So I could see in 5 years' time that if there's a Woodfield Amden in every county or in dotted throughout different provinces, that would be my ideal scenario, because I could just see that it's needed so much, and that the more and more people look into it and they see the results from it, that they'll actually sign up to that. It's not just a tick the box exercise, that it's a long-term development program for everyone, and it'll benefit the business as well. That this is not just signing off and they've done their day out.
And I think that's what we touched on it earlier, and I think it's exciting because I know you're going to contact some of the local enterprises and stuff, and I think the work that we're doing, it's exciting stuff and it's beneficial, and it's it's a business at the end of the day. But actually, what's behind the backbone of it is this is not something that we think people need or we think people can benefit from. This is something that people need. We talked about the 6-month course on starting a business and bringing people through that process of being able to start a business, like a proper how to run a business, how to start a business, how to scale a business, how to grow a business, how to bring people into your business. And I think, again, it's not something that we just want to do because we think it's a good thing to do. It's needed for these people, and I would encourage the likes of the Leos and the Enterprise Irelands and all of these local enterprise boards to maybe interact with myself and yourself and look at what we can bring to the table that will really, really benefit people that are looking to set up businesses or people that are looking to scale businesses.
100%, because we have the experience of, say, starting to grow in all these different phases. We've encountered every problem you could imagine, but as you say, something like a 6-week or a 6-month course could speed someone up years. So that the experience, use that experience in a positive way, as in developing different courses and programs going forward, because SMEs and corporates, they have went through a lot of this and they've been through issues and how to get around it. So first-hand experience is definitely essential, and that's kind of where we're delighted with the Relax and Learn to have so much experience coming in from your side as well, and all what you've learned over the years as well.
And I suppose it is that age-old thing of, we can look at the innovators, we can look at the tech companies, we can look at the the manufacturers, the companies that are selling stuff across the world, but I think it's something like 65 or 75% of our SMEs in Ireland are your electricians, your plumbers, your day-to-day essential businesses, and I think there's more that can be done for those types of businesses. Actual supports, actual advice, that will really help them grow and scale their business.
And the thing about it is, like, the businesses you name, they're essential services, and they're going to get harder and harder to get as well. So they will need more support going forward. But I suppose at the minute they're probably looking at courses and different things and saying, that's not relevant to me, or I'm an electrician, I don't know why I'd be branding. So I suppose in the terms of that, there's such a broad range of learning and education that hasn't even been touched on as well.
And I find with a lot of people that we're dealing with now, mindset coach seems to be something that is a lot more acceptable, and people that you wouldn't necessarily think that would have bought into a mindset coach seem to have mindset coaches in their business now. And I always think it's brilliant. Like, you've made the step. You're engaging in the mindset side of things, but there's no point walking around happy in your head with systems that don't work. You need to be happy, brilliant, and how to get that happiness across, and how to be more positive in your day to day, and look at what opportunities are you seeing and everything else. But at the end of the day, you still need the systems and you still need your business to operate correctly, because one doesn't go without the other.
No, and I suppose that you can be relaxed and you can do as many, say, meditations you want, but as you said, if the systems aren't in place, it's never going to run. But that's what makes it so good us coming together, that you're looking at why is the communication breaking down.
Yeah.
Right, okay, well let's delve into the system. So
Yeah.
then you can then look into their systems and their operations and how
Yeah.
they're doing people, you see, so that then they can also come and say, oh well, this is probably causing this issue in communication. So it's not just, it's a direct delve into the company, in both wellness and the overall system as well.
And I suppose just to finish up, you do a lot of you do rent a space at times for the likes of yoga and stuff like that. So there's always events happening in Woodfield. So keep an eye out. I suppose if people wanted to get in contact with you, either on the corporate wellness side or maybe the event space side or the relax and learn, where is the best place to go look for you or get in contact with you? LinkedIn by the sound of things, but
LinkedIn is one. But Instagram and our website then, Woodfield Retreat then as well. But Instagram for Woodfield Retreats. Be able to contact us from there.
I highly recommend it. Anyone, Midlands or anywhere in Ireland, drop in. It's a special place. If you can get an appointment with Nikki, I'd highly recommend it as well. It was a game changer for me. But woodfieldsauna.ie.
Woodfield Retreat.
Woodfieldretreat.ie. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of the above. Drop them a line. Thanks a million for coming up. Really enjoyed the session today, and this will be out next week, I think. So we'll see how we go. All right, well done.
Thanks a million.
Cheers.